For the past 2 years, Dwayne Olinger has starred on the Discovery Channel series, Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch, where he works to uncover the secrets buried beneath the surface at his 160-acre ranch in Utah. However, he says he wouldn't be alive to do that if it weren't for the Montezuma Hot Springs, located just outside of Las Vegas. Olinger, who is in his late 60s, was in bad health in 2009, suffering from gout in his feet and struggling to get around the way he was used to. He was previously the owner of 4-Star Construction in Dennis, Texas, and was searching for solutions to get him back to the active lifestyle he enjoyed. While on a road trip from his home in Amarillo, Olinger stopped for gas in Santa Rosa, New Mexico, where a 16-year-old boy noticed his issues getting around. The boy approached Olinger and told him to check out the Montezuma Hot Springs, because he had heard they had healed people in the past. Olinger took the boy's advice and made the trip to Las Vegas, where he visited the hot springs and immediately felt relief. He began visiting the area monthly, and soon he was fully healed, he told The Optic. "I'd be a dead man if it weren't for those ponds out there," Olinger said. His trips to this area have been consistent ever since that visit in 2009, interrupted only by the COVID-19 pandemic, during which the hot springs were shut down for more than a year. Olinger even purchased the Hot Springs Ranch, just south of the Montezuma Hot Springs, intending to make it his next passion project and uncover hidden secrets. However, he recently put the ranch back on the market, according to Ranchline.com, focusing more energy on his ranch in Utah, where the Discovery Channel series is filmed. "You've got a trophy in your backyard, that's for sure," Olinger said. "It truly is a hidden gem." Olinger is as happy as anyone to see the hot springs reopened in late 2021, with control handed over to the Friends of the Montezuma Hot Springs. He visited Las Vegas last week to visit one of his favorite places in the world. When he visits, he likes to make at least 2 trips to the springs, which he firmly believes possess healing powers. These days, though, he keeps plenty busy with his work in Utah, which includes starring in episodes of his TV series, which is currently airing its 2nd season Friday nights at 9 p.m. Mountain Time on Discovery Channel. However, Olinger said he hasn't let the success of the show affect him. "I've always been the same person," Olinger said. "It doesn't matter if the cameras are on or off. What you see is what you get," he said when the show began filming its first season in early 2020. It took a while to adjust to the camera crews and the drones flying around the ranch he owns in Utah, where he has worked for several years. However, after a while he said he didn't even notice the distractions and was able to go about his business. Filming each episode takes approximately a week, he said. 6 episodes aired in the show's first season in 2021. Season 2, which is currently airing, will include 8 episodes, with the season final on March 4, said the show follows him and his team as they work to uncover the secrets hidden beneath the surface at his ranch. Among the secrets is a box they found in a cave during the first season, a box Olinger believes could contain the fabled treasure from the Aztec Empire. Olinger said he has enjoyed working with the team from the Discovery Channel, and that he hopes to continue to have success with the show and professionally. But he believes none of it would have been possible if it weren't for the advice of a young man, which led him to the Montezuma Hot Springs more than a decade ago. "I'm really fortunate to be alive to have this conversation today," Olinger said. When Discovery Channel star Jake "Red" Dunning stepped off the gravel trail and onto the steaming, mineral-stained rocks of Montezuma Hot Springs, he didn't look like a man ready for transformation. Hunched over from years of grueling backwoods expeditions and camera-ready adrenaline, Red bore the stooped posture of a man 3 decades older than his 39 years. His once fiery red beard had begun to bleach and split, and for the first time in his career, The man who hunted mountain lions for television had been hunted by something invisible. Burnout. I was fried, Red says, eyes scanning the cottonwoods that rustle along the Pecos River. My body, my mind, even my damn soul. The cameras stopped rolling, and I felt like I'd disappeared too. Dunning, best known for his wild man survivalist show Red Trails, had been off the air for nearly a year when he arrived in Las Vegas. Not the neon one in Nevada, but the small, sleepy town in New Mexico that's long been overshadowed by Santa Fe and Taos. With little fanfare and no social media post, Red checked into a historic inn across from Montezuma Castle, the old Victorian-era hotel. 19th century tycoons seeking a health cure in its hot springs. I wasn't here for the history, Red says with a laugh. I was here because someone told me the water was magic. A life lived on the Ejido. Understand why Montezuma Hot Springs would even matter to Red Dunning. It helps to know how he got there in the first place. Raised in the pine thickets of northern Idaho, Red grew up fishing, tracking, and living off the land. He joined the Marines at 18, served 2 tours, and came back home with a surgically reconstructed knee and what he calls a brain buzzing like a radio that won't tune in. His big break came in 2014 when a Discovery Channel producer saw a YouTube video of Red fending off a black bear with a flare gun and a coyote carcass strapped to his back. That video eventually became the pilot for Red Trails, which followed Red across the U.S. wilderness as he tackled survival scenarios with a mix of frontier wisdom and marine grit. The show ran 5 seasons, each more intense than the last. Red hunted pythons in the Everglades, lived off insects in Utah's canyons, and even got stranded on an ice floe in Alaska, an incident that earned the network both an Emmy nomination and a legal warning from OSHA. But behind the camera, Red was cracking. I wasn't sleeping. My joints were shot. I was living on painkillers and protein bars, he admits. Then one day, I just stopped answering the phone. They called it a sabbatical. Truth is, I just quit. He retreated to an off-grid cabin in northern Arizona. No internet, no press, no cameras, but also no relief. I thought if I could just sit still, I'd start to feel better, he says. But the stillness was loud. The waters that whispered first heard of Montezuma Hot Springs from a retired park ranger he met in a Sedona coffee shop. The ranger, a Vietnam vet with arthritic knees, swore the springs gave him back his stride. At first, I thought it was hippie nonsense, Red says. But something about the way he said it stuck with me. Like the place called to him. And maybe it was calling me. Toso Red drove 10 hours across the desert, through the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, and into Las Vegas, NM. The first time he saw the springs, clusters of natural stone pools, steaming against the coal-high desert air, he felt something shift. It was like déjà vu, like I'd been here before in a dream. Pool at Montezuma Hot Springs has its own name, temperature, and mineral makeup. There's the lobster pot, known for being nearly unbearable, the iron bath, a rusty, blood-warm soak, and the hot, a cooler, gentler pool tucked behind a stone wall. Red started with the hottest. I thought, burn it all out of me, he says. Whatever had poisoned my spirit. He soaked for 10 minutes that first day, muscles twitching under the mineral heat. I expected pain, but instead it felt like my body just sighed. He came back the next morning, and the morning after that. For 12 days straight, Red sat in those pools, silent, sometimes with locals, sometimes alone, letting the waters leach whatever tension had built up over his years in the wild. Something was happening, he says, not just to my joints or my skin. My dreams got clearer. I'd wake up and not feel panic. That hadn't happened in years. Healing or hallucination? Skeptics might say it was a placebo. And Red wouldn't argue. Maybe it's all in my head, he says. But you know what else is in my head? Stress, fear, trauma. So if hot water tricks my brain into releasing that grip, I'll take its science, gives some backing to the belief. The waters at Montezuma are rich in lithium, magnesium, and calcium, all minerals linked to reduced inflammation and improved mood. The hot springs are fed by a deep geothermal aquifer and have been used for healing since the indigenous Tua and Pecos people bathed in them centuries ago. But Red isn't interested in laboratory breakdowns. You don't have to explain the magic, he says. Just feel it. He describes isn't a miracle cure, but a rebalancing. After his time at Montezuma, Red returned to the trails, but differently. No camera crews, no survival challenges, just hiking boots, a one journal, and a single GoPro he now uses to document healing hikes across America. He started posting short videos to a new YouTube channel, Red Reboots. One, titled Soaking the Rage Away, features a slow pan across the lobster pot, steam curling like incense. In the voiceover, Red speaks softly. Sometimes healing isn't about fixing something. It's about remembering what never broke the hot springs, which sit on private land owned by the United World College, have long been unofficially open to the public. Though there are no signs, entry fees, or lifeguards, visitors respect a quiet code. Leave no trash, don't hog the pools, and let the water speak.